Parents out there that might not actually know too much about cricket and how to choose a cricket bat for their child, what's probably the best bit of info you could pass on in regards to how to figure that out?
In terms of, it's pretty important what size bat you get, and if you get one that's too big or too small can affect how the child stands in stance or how they hit the ball, so it is quite important. In terms of pretty lucky on the internet, and obviously you've got this sizing guide, so it's pretty easy just to get the child to stand, and it gives you the heights and what bat they should be using, size from 0 up to short handle and long blade.
Excellent.
In terms of if you don't have those, a simple way to do it is to grab a bat, put it next to your child's leg and drop your hand down the side, and the top of the handle should come to your wrist. That'll be roughly the right height size for you. Like we said, you can always find it on the internet if you need to. It would be a good idea to go and check and just do a bit of research. Like we said, it can affect how the child bats. So with regards to the weight of the bat, if you get the child in a stance as if they're about to bat, and they hold the bat out to the side behind them, or they can go out in front like this, either or. What you find a lot of the time is when the bat's too heavy, they can't hold it still with their one hand, just their top hand. So if they can't hold the bat still, if it's waving around, it's too heavy, we need to know we need to move to a lighter bat. Like that, I can hold it still, so it'd be right for me. It is important again, the weight of the bat affects how the child can swing the bat and how they can hit the ball. So it's important to get the right size and the right weight for your child.
And a question for you, Alan, regarding the knots that you'll see there just down the grains, and also the colour of the bat, or the willow, sorry. Does that mean anything?
It's difficult to say. It's a natural product, so but you can never really tell how the bat's going to react. What you can say is the redwood is a slightly harder wood, and the knots are slightly harder. Do they impact performance? I don't believe so. Things that are important when you're picking out a cricket bat are feel. A lot of people will go to a shop and pick out grains, wide grains, thin grains. Everyone's got it's all a personal preference, and generally goes from what their star likes to use. Is it Guptill or is it Nisham, what their bat's like, sort of thing. So what I would say is when we go pick out a cricket bat, put on some gloves. That's the first bit of advice. When do you ever hold a cricket bat in a game without gloves on? It feels completely different. And close your eyes and swing the bat, and don't look at the grains or the shape. Close your eyes, pick up the bat and feel what it's like, because if it feels good, the biggest thing as a batter is being clear in your head, and if your bat feels good, it's one less thing to think about. So that'll be the main thing, I think.
Excellent, and that's a great bit of advice actually, because I see a lot of kids especially forcing their parents to buy them a bat based on how thick the edges are, or they count the grains down the bat, and just because it's got a lot of grains, they think that's the bat to buy. So that's more of a fairy tale, you think? Yeah,
it's just like I said, it's a perception on what the stars will use, what their heroes are using, which is fair enough, I understand that, but generally, like, the bat's got to feel good. If it doesn't feel good, it doesn't matter how good the bat looks, doesn't matter how good it looks, if it doesn't feel good, it's not gonna work for you. Right. So you need to be clear when you're batting. If you're worried about how the bat feels, you're not clear in your head. So.
True, right.